let's find a long, tall seat, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Somewhere comfortable, you can stay for a couple of minutes. If you feel comfortable enough to do so, go ahead and close the eyes, reaching the top of the head high, tailbone down. And bring awareness to the present moment. Noticing what it feels like to be here in this space, in this present time, in this physical form. And perhaps checking in with what brought you to the mat tonight. And offering up an intention. Maybe just one word: peace, calm, acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude. Or maybe you have something a little deeper you need to get into. And we'll come together with the sound of Om 3 times. Letting the chin fall forward. The head is heavy. It starts to rock side to side, getting into the muscles in the neck. If it feels safe, you could go around in full circles, getting into the crunchies, and kind of working through that. And reversing direction, remembering that every movement, breath, pose is a suggestion, it's an offering for me, but it's not a requirement. Coming back to the middle, let's inhale the arms up overhead, weave the fingers together, we'll press the palms forward and the spine back. Your body is your best teacher. Inhale lifts up. And while I have suggestions, you should always listen to your body first. Continuing with your breath, inhale comes up, exhale to push forward. Couple more. Maybe reaching the fingers, the tips of the pinkies back. And then we'll bring it over to one side, reach the fingertips across the room, open the side body. And swing that through the middle and over to the other side. Long, spacious reach. Up through the middle. And let's take this into a really gentle forward fold. So finding your space, reaching long through the spine, tailbone down. And this might be it, or if you feel like you get a little deeper into the outer thigh, you can start to go a little lower, but we're going to try and keep the spine long. So instead of holding over, we're reaching forward and across the room. And then finding your way back up. And we'll remember which foot is on top. We'll come out long with the legs. And we'll go ahead and run around in circles for the ankles. And reverse direction. And let's bring it into the hips. And then we'll fold the legs back and switch which leg is on top or in front, whichever your Sukhasana, your seat is. We'll inhale up here and start with that side stretch. We'll lean over to one side. And then maybe get a little deeper into the shoulder this time. And go into your rainbows or whatever movement feels beneficial to that shoulder joint right now. Through the middle, up to the center, and over the other direction. Same thing, if you're feeling like you can open the shoulder socket a little more, go ahead. Maybe even there's some crunchies in the shoulder joint, just like the neck. Coming back up through the middle. Inhale long, exhale, find the fold on this side. Allow it to be its own pose. So it might look and feel different from your first side. And this time we'll roll through and bring the toes to touch, and we'll sit down in the heels for child's. Reaching the arms long, maybe a gentle side to side rock just to soothe into that pose. And then we'll plant the palms, press through every digit, and reach the hips up for our first dog pose. Don't worry if it's not as deep as the last time you did dog, maybe yesterday or a week ago or a year ago. Just allowing it to be what it is right here, right now, and maybe moving through it, maybe opening the backs of the legs a little deeper, maybe moving the shoulder joints or pressing the belly button to the spine. Again, listening to your physical body and what is working and what feels beneficial in this pose, in this moment. And looking to the center in between the hands, we'll walk forward into the fold, toes forward, heels back, bend the knees, and then relax the head over. Relax the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. And we'll tuck the tailbone and gently find our way up to stand in Tadasana. And planting the feet, maybe taking a little more space just for balance. We'll swing side to side, let the torso, the core do most of the work, and the arms and the head are gonna follow along. Really nice for the lower back. And the tapping will get the blood moving a little. And return to center. And let's bring the arms up overhead and just swing forward and backward. And let it go. And we'll come to the front of the mat if you're not there already. Again, feet parallel, toes forward, heels back. And check in with the weight on the soles of the feet. Where primarily, are we standing? Are we way in the back of the foot, over to the side, one direction or the other? Maybe fold forward, and you can experiment with tipping in each direction just to see what that tiny dance feels like, moving around the distribution of weight on the soles of the feet. And then try to choose something that's even across all four corners of both feet. Now we have head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and since we're standing, we have hips over knees and knees over the ankle. Everything stacked right, one on top of the other. And we'll inhale up and back. We'll press the hips forward as the heart comes high. And exhale, release into the fold. Right foot goes back. Release the knee. Sink down into the hips as you lift up for low lunge. You can stay low. You can have your hands down for support. If you're feeling balanced, you can come up to the thigh or even to the heart, or perhaps all the way up and overhead. Again, finding movement that works for you and your practice right now. Or maybe just staying still, letting gravity do some work with the hips. We'll release down. Plant the palms. Find plank from heels to the top of the head. We have one straight, long line. Hold for a moment here. And then release down the knees. And on an exhale, the heart and chin come down as well. And the inhale slides forward and up into cobra pose. Use the lower back muscles. You can check by just lifting the hands. Is my back working to hold me up? Tuck the toes and push into the dog. See if it's the same or different as it was a few minutes ago. Right foot comes all the way to flat at the front of the mat to get into our low lunge on the other side. So sink down into the hips. And if you did so on the first side, you can play with coming up to the knee, up to the heart, or all the way up and overhead. Kapiasana. Find your way back down. Left foot comes to meet the right, hanging over. Relax the shoulders. Protect the lower back by connecting thigh to the upper body. Reach the top of the head forward, up and back. And come down through heart center. Steady heart, steady breath. And we'll start just the same way. High arch, inhale. Release down on the exhale. Step the left foot back, but this time don't go too far because we're gonna come to kneeling. So the back knee is under the hip, front knee over the ankle. Right hand comes down inside right foot, and we'll open up to the left here. The left fingertips are going high. If it's okay on the neck, the nose, the gaze goes up. If not, just find something that works for you. And bring the left hand back down. Let's step the right foot back as we plant the hands underneath the shoulders. We're gonna go down again. You can do knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga with the elbows pointing back along the body. If you're in chaturanga, you can come forward into up dog. If you're in knees, chest, and chin, you'll go returning into cobra. And then return to the dog. We'll, left foot swings forward. We'll plant it down flat. And then lower the right knee. Again, we're in kneeling. Left hand comes inside the right foot. And now the right arm up towards the sky. And release the right hand back down, and we'll walk the right foot to the left foot, finding our forward fold. One more time. This time, let's add on a little bit. I'm going to weave the fingers together at the base of the skull, and it'll just give me a little extra weight towards that gravity. So I'm kind of almost passively pulling the vertebrae, opening some space in the back. And as always, it's just an idea and a suggestion, not a requirement. Go ahead and release the hand. We'll tuck the tailbone and curl vertebrae by vertebrae up to stand. Let's drag the shoulders down and back. Come into Tadasana. Letting the heart steady and the breath steady with just a few breaths in this standing mountain pose. Once again, inhale, up and back, high arch. Exhale, release it over. Take the right foot back. Return to low lunge with the hips down and the heart up. And we'll take it into a swing. So we're swinging the hips backward and forward. And then draw it back and hold in your Ardha Hanuman, your half Hanuman pose. Square the hips, lengthen the spine, reach the top of the head forward, and get that stretch in the left hamstring. Slide forward. Let's walk the left foot out towards the edge of the mat. You're going to keep the lying knee over the ankle and place the palms underneath the shoulders like you're doing plank and lift up the back leg. This is lizard pose. You can use a breath or two to move around and open the hips. And then if you're feeling spacious, you could come down a little lower. Outside arm comes down first, then inside. And return back up. Find plank pose. Again, knees, chest, and chin or chaturanga, cobra or up dog, and slide back to down dog. Looking at the space between the hands, we'll reach the right foot forward, left heel comes down, and we wind up with warrior one. Pressing into the outer edge of both feet, so even weight on both feet. If I knocked over the front or knocked over the back, you fall over. Let's open into second warrior. Feet stay planted. My hips are going to now square to the long side of my mat. Arms reaching in opposite direction. Shoulders stay low. Reverse side angle. I bring my left arm down and my right arm reaches up and over. And go ahead and extend the right leg for a breath. And we're gonna windmill all the way down to kneeling to come into a deep twist. So I'll take elbow to elbow, one straight long line, and my palms are together. My left elbow over to my right knee. Press right hand into the left and lift the heart, look up over the right shoulder. Tuck the left toe. If you have balance here, you're feeling steady, you can lift up the left knee. Parivrita Parsvakonasana. Great balance, and then we'll come back and wind your way into the high lunge. So if you're still kneeling, just come up with the back leg now coming up to high lunge. Let's reach the arms high, and we're going to step forward into a one single-legged Tadasana with the left foot up. And return back to high lunge. Twice more. 2. And last one. Hold here. I'm going to give my left a hug. Hold on with my right and twist back to the left. Maybe looking up out over that left shoulder. Return to the front, to center. And I'll let go of my hands and extend the left leg long. Keep the spine tall. I'll come back here. Make sure your body stays up. And release down and shake it all up. And prepare for second side. Inhale comes up and back. Knees over. Left foot goes back. And we swing the hips forward and back. And next time we're back, we'll stay back and hold. Hamstring stretch. Ironing out the spine with every breath, just getting the vertebrae longer and longer. Returning to the low lunge, we'll walk the right foot out to the side of the mat. Plant the palms down inside the foot like you're doing push-up and lengthen the left leg. And we have some room here in lizard pose for a couple breaths moving around. And then if you like, when you're ready, no pressure, you can lower down the back leg and perhaps outside and then inside. Keep that right knee hugged in towards the body. And make your way back up. Return to plank. Hold for a moment. Knees chest tension or chaturanga, cobra or up dog. And return to down dog. This time, the left foot slides forward, right heel comes down, and we'll make our way up into first warrior. Tuck the tailbone under. And second warrior. Extend the arms in both directions. Gaze goes out over left fingertips. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up and back for a reverse side angle. And add the left leg long. And then we'll windmill all the way down to the earth, down to kneeling. And prepare for the twist. This time, right elbow, left knee. Lift the heart. Then the back leg. Find your way to high lunge. Extend the arms. And we'll step up onto the left foot. Twice more. Last one. Right leg gets a hug as you extend with the spine. Left stays where it is, left hand stays where it is. Right hand reaches back. Maybe the gaze goes with it. Return to center. Hold steady with that standing leg. Let go of the arms. Right leg comes long. You might have to be lower. You don't want to come back here. You want to stay up tall. And release down. And let it go. Okay, let's lower down. We're going to do some sort of rock and roll, no handstand. I'm going to reach my arms out long, kind of like a zombie. Toes pointing forward. My feet are parallel. I'm going to lower down, 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 all the way to the earth. Rock back, plant the feet, and come up. Let's do 5. So here's 4. And you can go at your own time. If my tempo is not fast enough, or maybe it's too fast. Here's 3. 2 more. Lower down, release, and back up. Last one. All the way, and up. And take a moment in Tadasana, steady heart, steady breath. Return to your intention. Okay, let's take the feet a little wider and come down into Mahalasana. It will be squat, elbows come inside, and find your balance. It's okay if your heels are off the floor. It's okay if your seat's higher. We'll plant the palms down. And if you like, you can stay in Malasana. If you want to try crow pose, this is your chance. I'm going to do wide palms, fingers far apart, more surface area. Middle fingers pointing to the front of the mat. My elbows go out like a shelf. My lower legs connect. And now tap, tap, tap. And float up. And hold a couple breaths. And if you fall down, that's great. You're trying. and release down. And let's bring big toes to touch and release over into a child's pose. Relax the shoulders. And come up to sitting in the heels. If sitting in the heels is not available, you can sit in any way you like, or you could put a second mat under your seat or a block. And we're going to do shoulder stretch. So finding your pose, we'll take the right hand and pat the back, grab the elbow, and deepen into it if this is very comfortable and you want to go into the next variation. And leave the fingers together and keep lifting the heart. And let that side go. Breath in between, and then switch over to the left side. Allow this side to be its own pose. And release. Roll over and bring the legs out long in front. Let's come towards the front of the mat and find stack pose for a moment. Toes towards the ceiling, top of the head reaching high. And we'll scoot forward just a tad. Actually, I'm going to plant my hands down and my feet down and come up into bench. And let's swing the hips back in between the hands, but don't sit down. And swing forward and back. Just a couple more. Last one. And this time, have a seat. Bring the insides of the feet together. Inhale, tall, reach through the spine, long back. Exhale into Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Again, connect the thighs to the upper body, and then lengthen into your pose and hold. Finding your way back up. We'll roll down onto the back and take a break, take a breath with the knees knocked and the feet wide. Lower back release. And let's come up into bridge with the toes forward, the heels back, palms flat on the earth, and lift the hips. Maybe walk the shoulder blades under the back. Release the shoulders and we'll lower down. You can knock the knees together again, or you can do Supta Baddha Konasana with the feet together and the knees wide. Complete release in between the pose of, in between the bridge poses. Once again, feet flat, knees towards the sky. Fingertips maybe reaching to touch the heels, and we'll lift up. If it's available, you could crawl the hands, connect with the ankles and hold on. Release and find your way down. Another break. Knock knees, feet wide or reverse. Last one. You could do the exact same thing we just did, bridge or bridge with the ankle. Or if you're working on a full wheel, you can plant the hands by the shoulders. And again, remember, every pose is just a suggestion. So plant the hands by the shoulders, press into the soles of the feet and the palms and lift up. If you're in wheel, remember to tuck the chin and let the back connect to the earth first. Last release. Let's cross the right knee on top of the left. So really, when the knees are kind of stacked close to each other. And then I'm gonna grab the left foot with my right hand and the right foot with my left hand and kind of give them a little hold. And release the hands. And we'll let that whole lower shape fall to the left side of the mat and the upper body fall to the right side of the mat. Return to center. And we'll switch, so we'll stack the left knee on top of the right. Draw it in, grab the feet, and find your stretch here. Let go with the hands and let that whole lower shape fall to the right. The upper body releases over to the left. Return to center. Find one more little squeeze, maybe lower back massage. And anything that you need to do for yourself, you can do it right now. If that's any last stretches, or you want to adjust your music to something calming, or the lighting, or find a blanket. Find your way eventually into Shavasana. The toes falling open, the arms by the side, nose pointing up towards the ceiling. So the vertebrae are straight. And let the body melt into the mat. We'll stay here for a few minutes. So find a space where you can be still and comfortable for a few minutes. Now is the time to practice yoga. The practice of yoga is the practice of the settling of the mind. So you loosen up the body, you strengthen the muscles, you find comfortable release and slow breath. And then we can move to what's going on with the thoughts. And hopefully help them to kind of quiet down a bit. And that is a practice. That is not something I would expect anyone to be good at right away. Noticing the thoughts and watching them float around and ping pong in different directions. And then bringing them back, bringing the attention back to your breath or to perhaps your intention or just a space or listening to the song that you have on. That's the practice. That's the hard stuff. So letting the body melt, letting the toes release, the feet release, the ankles release. Letting the shins and calves, knees find ease. Releasing across the hips and the seat, the lower back, middle and upper back. Releasing the fingers and hands, the wrists. Letting go in the forearms, elbows and upper arms, across the chest, shoulders. Letting go in the neck and the throat, the jaw, face, nose, eyes, eyebrows, around the ears, base of the skull, and then all the way up to the top of the head. And then just notice what's drawing your attention. And see if you can find something to come back to. The breath. The intention. Offering forgiveness every time the mind wanders away. There's no right or wrong. Just allowing it to be. Coming back to the present moment. Gently waking the body. Deepening the breath, finding small movements in the fingers and toes. As you're ready, you can stretch, you can yawn, and find your way back to Sukhasana, the tall seat. And we close with the mantra for peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, all together. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti.